Amici, guardate un po' dove siamo. Eccoci. Modalità intro. Metal Gear Solid Delta Snake Eater, ragazzi. Ci siamo. Ne abbiamo parlato tanto. È arrivato. Ve lo sto portando in Early Access. Avrei voluto portarvene di più in Early Access, ma per una serie di motivi devo per forza portarvi solo, mi sa, questo episodio in Early Access e poi il resto lo vedrete già all'uscita del gioco. Che dire, vi faccio una brevissima intro prima di partire e poi ci buttiamo subito. Cercherò di tenere questo primo episodio più breve per la digestione un po' di tutti, anche per magari nuovi arrivati. Partiamo con che cos'è la saga di Metal Gear Solid per me. Io Metal Gear Solid lo giocai da piccolo, quando medie, liceo e anche un po' più grande, poi l'ho ripresi, lo rigiocai un po', soprattutto negli ultimi capitoli. E è una saga che io ho amato alla follia, come tutti sulla faccia della terra, però Snake Eater in particolare è stato il capitolo che da piccolo mi è piaciuto di più, ed è anche l'unico capitolo che ho giocato una volta sola. Per chi segue anche Saidon e Sabaku sicuramente molti di voi lo faranno. Ho rivisto pari passo con loro anche la veteran run del primo fino a Sons of Liberty, quindi mi sono fermato prima di Snake Eater proprio perché sapevo che l'avrei portato con voi, quindi non volevo, diciamo, rovinarmi gli spoiler, fra virgolette, perché è roba che so ma che devo ricordare semplicemente, quindi la mia sarà anche un po' un riscoprire Snake Eater, rivedere quante cose c'erano, capire anche perché mi era piaciuto così tanto, perché ricordo che Snake Eater in confronto agli altri mi era piaciuto proprio tanto di più, e sono felice di rifarlo con voi in questa remastered, quindi vedremo, anzi il remake dovrebbe essere, vedremo che cosa ci hanno messo dentro, cosa non hanno messo dentro, guarderemo un po' tutta la storia e non vedo l'ora che ne parleremo insieme. Ogni tanto controllerò ovviamente i livelli, registrazione, fatemi sapere se mi vedete bene, se l'audio si sente bene, se ci sono cose che non vanno, ditemelo, così dai prossimi episodi fixo tutto, ok? Senza ulteriore indugio passiamo alla modalità gioco. Un attimo solo che ho scordato di fare una cosa. Ok, eccoci qua, adesso mi dovreste vedere bene. Finalmente stasera ho la possibilità di giocare, quindi quello che io ho fatto finora senza di voi è semplicemente avviare il gioco, scegliere la lingua in italiano, mettere le lingue in inglese. C'era la scelta fra inglese e giapponese solamente, andremo in inglese perché è iconico anche il doppiaggio in inglese di Snake. Andremo poi a vedere magari alla fine di tutto il gioco queste altre opzioni che vedo qui, tipo Snake contro una scimmia, che non vedete cos'è, e gli extra. La versione che ho io è la deluxe, quindi ci saranno degli oggetti in più che vi mostrerò direttamente in gioco. Ormai non ve li posso più far vedere perché me li dava all'avvio, però come sapete, siccome ho un widescreen, ho dovuto sistemare un po' prima le cose per potervelo portare nella forma corretta, ok? Voi lo vedrete in 2K, full resolution, 60 frame al secondo, diciamo che è un po' più alto dello standard consigliato da YouTube, però volevo portarvelo proprio nella qualità massima, così vediamo anche quanto si vede bene effettivamente questo remake. Ma direi basta chiacchiere, partiamo. Non farò spoiler, quindi se dovessi dire qualcosa riferito agli altri giochi alzerò magari la mano, vi dico sto per spoilerare qualcosa agli altri giochi, altrimenti ce lo giochiamo come se chiunque arriva se lo sta vedendo come se fosse la prima volta e non sa nulla degli altri giochi, che è anche secondo me bella come cosa. Partiamo. Ok, allora domanda: sto giocando con Metal Gear Solid per la prima volta, quale capitolo di Metal Gear Solid preferisci? Equipaggiamento iniziale, uniforme, mummia, completa la storia principale per ottenere i seguenti equipaggiamenti aggiuntivi. Ah, quindi in ogni modo in cui parti ti dà delle uniformi diverse, quindi Auscam deserto, tigre del deserto, Cleft Tarn, anzi, Metal Gear Solid 4, Peace Walker, il 5, mi piacciono tutti i capitoli. Uniforme granata. Allora andrei con mi piacciono tutti i capitoli della serie Metal Gear Solid. Stile moderno, stile classico. Moderno, visuale in terza persona, libera e orientabile. Puoi sparare mentre ti muovi con l'inquadratura alla spalla. Una visuale dall'alto, puoi mirare con un'inquadratura in prima persona. Non voglio usare gli stessi comandi del gioco originale semplicemente per vedere quali sono le differenze, altrimenti un po' pointless. Quindi andremo così. Livello di difficoltà, il titolo Doberman è il grado massimo ottenibile, i seguenti dispositivi di elemento sono disponibili, sensore movimento, sono narrativo e sensore anti-uomo. Andrei con normale, perché non voglio che la difficoltà cambi l'esperienza per ora, poi magari se ci è piaciuto tanto ci facciamo anche gli altri. I suggerimenti disponibili direi mostra tutti. Avvia. Iniziamo il gioco usando lo stile.
After the end of World War II, the world was split into two, East and West. This marked the beginning of the era. War.
Approaching Soviet airspace.
20 minutes to drop off.
Commencing internal depressurization. Equipment check. Arm main parachute.
All right. You ready to go?
Drop zone still showing a high pressure mass. Cav okay.
Good. We've got high visibility.
Put out that cigar. Connecting oxygen hose to interior connector. Put on your mask. Does this panty waste know what he's doing?
Approaching release point.
10 minutes to drop off.
Hey, are you deaf?
He said put out the cigar and put on your mask.
Depressurization complete.
Checking oxygen supply.
6 minutes to drop off. Opening rear hatch.
Sunrise.
External temperature minus 46 degrees Celsius. 2 minutes to drop off. Stand up.
You'll be falling at 130 miles per hour. Try not to get frostbite from the wind chill.
1 minute to drop off. Move to the rear.
Activate the air bottle.
This is one for the history books. The world's first halo jump.
10 seconds to drop off. Stand by. Status okay. All green.
Prepare for drop off. Countdown. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Spread your wings
And fly. God be with you.
Jack, I've got some important news. The head of the CIA has finally given us the green light for the virtuous mission.
Virtual mission?
No, the virtuous mission. The future of our Fox unit depends on it. If it succeeds, we'll be officially organized into a unit.
Virtuous mission. Sounds like some kind of initiation ritual.
You know, don't get cocky, this isn't a training op.
Right. So what exactly is this wonderful mission?
Well, about 2 years ago, a certain Soviet scientist requested asylum in the West through one of our moles. His name is Nikolai Stepanovich Sokolov. He's head of the OKB 754 Design Bureau, one of the Soviets' top-secret weapon research facilities, and the East's foremost expert on weapons development.
Sokolov? Isn't he that famous rocket scientist?
The very same. On April the 12th, 1961, the Soviets achieved the first manned spaceflight in history.
The Earth was blue, but there was no God.
Well spoken. The rocket that carried Yuri Gagarin to orbit was the A-1, known as the Vostok rocket. Sokolov is said to be the man most responsible for the multi-engine cluster used in that rocket. After Gagarin's flight, Sokolov left rocket development to become the head of the newly established Design Bureau.
From a lowly technician to head of a design bureau, that's quite a success story, so why'd he want to defect?
It seems he'd become afraid of his own creations.
Afraid?
Call it a crisis of conscience.
And for that, he left his country and his family behind and went over the fence?
Not exactly. One of his conditions was that his family was also to be taken safely to the West. We used a mole to get the family out first and succeeded in sneaking Sokolov over the Berlin Wall shortly afterwards. I was the one who conducted the operation.
The security on the eastern side was still full of holes back then. Then what?
We got Sokolov over in one piece, but the whole ordeal had left him exhausted, and we checked him into a hospital in West Berlin. It took him 2 weeks and more than 600 miles to get from the research facility in the Soviet Union to Berlin. He was in no condition to say anything coherent. And it was only a week later that we had something much bigger on our hands.
The Cuban Missile Crisis.
October the 16th, 1962, President Kennedy received word that the Soviets were in the process of deploying intermediate-range ballistic missiles in Cuba. The President demanded that the Soviets dismantle and remove the missiles. At the same time, he announced a naval blockade to prevent further missile shipments from reaching Cuba. But the Soviets didn't back down, instead placing their armed forces on secondary alert. Soviet transport ships carrying missiles continued on course towards Cuba. US and Soviet forces went on alert for an all-out nuclear war. Frantic negotiations were conducted through the UN's Emergency Security Council and unofficial channels to end the hair-trigger standoff. Finally, on October the 28th, the Soviet Union agreed to remove its missiles from Cuba, and so the world avoided a nuclear holocaust. But in order to get the Soviets to pull their missiles out, we had to make a deal.
You mean the one where the US agreed to remove its IRBMs from Turkey?
No. The Jupiter IRBMs deployed in Turkey were obsolete, and we were going to get rid of them anyway. They had no strategic value whatsoever to either the US or the Russians. The Turkey deal was a ruse, a cover story that was fed to the other intelligence agencies around the world.
So what did the Russians really want?
Sokolov. They wanted us to return Sokolov.
You mean the Soviets pulled out of Cuba just to get their hands on Sokolov?
That's right.
What the hell was he working on?
At the time, we had no idea. We were running out of time. It was either give up Sokolov or risk full-scale nuclear war. In the end, we had no choice. President Kennedy gave in to Khrushchev's demand. The next day, I got Sokolov out of the hospital, handing him over to agents on the eastern side.
Mamma mia.
Sokolov kept on screaming, "Save me," until he disappeared from my sight. Then a month ago, we received some new information from one of our moles.
About Sokolov?
Yes. He was taken back to the research facility and forced to continue working on the weapon in question under KGB supervision. What's more, it's on the verge of completion.
So what kind of weapon is it? Something to do with space rockets?
No, missiles.
Same technology.
I guess you're right. Else, but it appears to be a new kind of nuclear device. For half a year now, the Soviets have been conducting frequent nuclear tests at Semipalatinsk.
Something to do with the weapon, I assume.
We're talking about a secret weapon so big that Khrushchev was ready to pull out of Cuba to get it back.
Is Sokolov still in the facility?
No, according to our intelligence, he's in Selinoyarsk, a place in the mountains about 3 miles to the west that's known as the Virgin Cliffs.
The Virgin Cliffs. Nice name for a virtuous mission.
They moved him there just recently.
Why?
Apparently, they're conducting a field test of the weapon, but it's our best chance to get him back. This mission would never have been possible if he was still in the research facility. This is our last chance. Sokolov must have known that too when he contacted us. Listen up, Jack. Your mission is to infiltrate Selinoyarsk in the Soviet mountains, ensure the safety of Sokolov, and bring him back to the west. If we don't get Sokolov back before that weapon is complete, we'll be facing a major crisis. The clock is ticking. Once we've confirmed the rescue of Sokolov, stand by at the recovery point. A recovery balloon will be dropped at that point. Helium will be pumped into the balloon to inflate it. The process takes about 20 minutes. Once it's complete, the gunship's arm will latch onto the balloon and pull it up.
The Fulton surface-to-air recovery system. I'm familiar with the theory.
Take it easy. It's been combat proven.
Do you think Sokolov is up to it?
The shock will be less than during a parachute jump, and the arm can handle up to 500 pounds.
So you're planning on going over the border in a single combat Talon?
She's equipped with 2 6-barrel 20mm Vulcan cannons, as well as 2 40mm machine guns.
Sounds like she could hold her own against a battalion of tanks.
Even with the fuel in the reserve tank, we're facing a 4-hour time limit. If all goes well, it shouldn't take more than a few hours.
Home in time for dinner.
But if anything goes wrong, you'll be eating dinner, breakfast, and all the rest of your meals in the jungle.
A posto. Do you copy? You're already in enemy territory, and somebody might be listening in. From here on out, we'll be using code names to refer to each other. Your code name for this mission will be Naked Snake. I'll be referring to you as Snake from now on. You're not to mention your real name.
Snake?
What, you don't like snakes?
What do you mean?
You've eaten one before, haven't you?
In survival training.
I'm glad to hear that.
I don't know if I'd ever order one in a restaurant, but...
Be careful, you might not have a choice.
What about you, Major? What should I call you?
Let's see. I'll be Tom. Call me Major Tom. This will be a sneaking mission. You must not be seen by the enemy. You must leave no trace of your presence. Is that clear? This kind of infiltration is the Fox unit's speciality. In other words, weapons and equipment are procured on site. That goes for food as well. You're completely naked, just as your name implies.
Great. Now I see why you asked me if I like snakes. I suppose calling me Snake was your idea of a joke, too.
No, there's a good reason for that. I'll tell you later when the time is right.
Gotcha. Getting back to the subject, how exactly am I supposed to feed myself?
You've been issued a knife and a tranquilizer gun. Use them to hunt for food. You'll also find some medical supplies in your backpack.
Yeah, about the backpack. I lost it in a tree on the way down.
I see. Well, you'd better go back and get it then. You know where it is?
No problem. I can see it from here. It's stuck on a branch.
To climb a tree, stand in front of a tree that's covered in ivy and press the action button. I'll be monitoring your progress over the radio. We can't risk violating Soviet airspace, but I'll be in the gunship. My frequency is 140.85. I'll give you a call if I need to talk to you. If you need to talk to me, use the send function. Okay, Snake, go get your backpack.
Eccoci qua. Movimento in stile moderno. L muove il personaggio, R muove la visuale. Inclina le vette L con angolazioni differenti per regolare la velocità di movimento. Dunque, ragazzi, oltre al grosso spettacolo, credo che quell'indicatore che vediamo sia quanto siamo camuffati, probabilmente, o quanto siamo visibili. Parliamo di quello che abbiamo visto fino adesso, quindi noi siamo John, questo soldato dell'unità Fox, che sta cercando di prendere posto nel mondo. Come avete sentito, questa missione scalare sporgenze sale le sporgenze permetterà all'unità Fox di acquisire notorietà se viene completata correttamente. Il nostro nome in codice sarà Snake, o più comunemente Snake, abbreviato. Sarà una missione in cui recupereremo tutto l'equipaggiamento sul posto. E il nostro obiettivo è recuperare questo soldato durante la guerra, questo scienziato durante la guerra fredda, per sventare un'altra guerra, una possibile guerra nucleare, o peggio, tra America e URSS. La cosa bella dei Metal Gear è che nulla è mai come sembra.
I see you've retrieved your backpack, Snake. To equip a weapon, it's necessary to take it out of your backpack. In the survival viewer, choose Weapon from the backpack. Your available weapons will be displayed in a list on the screen. From that list, choose the weapon you want to equip and press the Enter button. For other equipped items, just do the same thing from Item.
Got it. Use the survival viewer backpack.
Yep, that's right. Survival is fundamental to this mission. After you've been out in the field for a while, your stamina will start to drop. If your stamina gets too low, it'll affect your performance. You won't be able to shoot accurately, for example, and your wounds won't heal as smoothly. Keep an eye on your stamina so you don't run out. To recover lost stamina, you can hunt for local flora and fauna. You can use either your tranquilizer gun or your knife to hunt.
My only weapon is a Mark 22 Hush Puppy tranquilizer gun?
That's right. It's been fitted with its own suppressor. However, the suppressor will deteriorate every time you fire. Once its durability reaches 0, the noise suppression effect will be gone. So don't get too trigger-happy with it. The suppressor's durability is shown in the icon. Any weapons and equipment beyond what you're carrying now, you'll have to find as you go.
I have to find my own weapons and equipment? Whose crazy idea was this, anyway?
Solo covert actions are standard Fox operating procedure. You can't leave any traces of your presence. No weapons, equipment, footprints, sweat, or bodily waste. The same goes for bullets and cartridges, too. Your presence in enemy territory is already a violation of international conventions of warfare. There aren't supposed to be any American soldiers in Russia. It could spark an international incident. You can't let anyone see you. You can't let the enemy know you're there. This is a stealth mission. You're a ghost, Snake, in every sense of the word. And there'll be no rescue if you're captured. The military and US government will deny any involvement in the affair.
Then I'll just have to take care of myself, huh?
I'm afraid so. You've been given a fake death pill for that purpose. SIS guidelines stipulate that soldiers on covert ops like this one be issued a potassium cyanide capsule. Tape it to your body so you can take it when you need to.
How generous of you.
Use it if you're taken prisoner by the enemy. It'll send you into a state of false death for a short time.
Fooling them into thinking that I'm really dead. So, how do I come back to life?
Just take the revival pill.
You mean that thing they put in my tooth before the mission?
That's the one. But be careful. If you remain in a state of false death for too long, nothing will be able to bring you back. Remember that.
I'll keep it in mind. You said this was a solo mission, right?
Right.
I guess that means I can't count on any reinforcements.
Correct. The mission rests entirely in your hands.
A real one-man army.
Relax. There's a support team ready to back you up over the radio.
Who?
I'll introduce them to you. This time, survival is of utmost importance. The first member of the support team will be in charge of monitoring your physical condition, acting as a medic, so to speak, as well as recording your mission data. She's a member of Fox as well, and she's here on the gunship with me.
She?
Hello, Snake. I'm paramedic. Nice to meet you.
Paramedic.
As in a medic who comes in by parachute.
Aren't you going to tell me your real name?
Are you going to tell me yours, Mr. Snake?
My name, huh? It's John Doe.
And they call you Jack for short. You're a regular Captain Nemo.
A name means nothing on the battlefield. After a week, no one has a name. What's your name?
Jane Doe.
Very funny.
I wasn't joking, but I'll tell you my name only if you manage to make it back alive. My frequency is 145.73.
She's also in charge of recording your mission data. Whenever you want to save, send a message over the reserved save frequency, 140.96.
So saving lets me record my mission data.
That's right. It also records the state of your health.
Good to know.
There's one more person I want to introduce you to, Snake.
Huh?
Speaking of snakes, you remember the boss, don't you? A legendary soldier and your mentor. Actually, it was the boss that got the DCI's authorization in the first place. She's going to be serving as Fox's mission advisor.
The boss is?
She also helped me plan this mission. She and I were at SAS together.
Jack, is that you? How many years has it been?
Boss?
That's right. It's me.
Oh.
Talk to me. Let me hear your voice.
It's been 5 years, 72 days, and 18 hours.
You've lost weight.
You can tell just by the sound of my voice.
Of course I can. I know all about you.
Really? Well, I don't know anything about you.
What's that supposed to mean?
Why'd you disappear on me all of a sudden?
I was on a top-secret mission. You didn't need me anymore.
But there were still so many things I wanted you to teach me.
No, I taught you everything you needed to know about fighting techniques. I taught you all I could. The rest you needed to learn on your own.
Techniques, sure. But what about how to think like a soldier?
How to think like a soldier? I can't teach you that. A soldier needs to be strong in spirit, body, and technique. And the only thing you can learn from someone else is technique. In fact, technique doesn't even matter. What's most important is spirit. Spirit and body are like two sides of a single coin. They're the same thing. I can't teach you how to think. You'll just have to figure it out for yourself. Listen to me, Jack. Just because soldiers are on the same side right now doesn't mean they always will be. Having personal feelings about your comrades is one of the worst sins you can commit. Politics determine who you face on the battlefield. And politics are a living thing. They change along with the times. Yesterday's good might be tomorrow's evil.
Is that why you abandoned me?
No, it had nothing to do with you. I already told you, Jack. I was on a top-secret mission. A soldier has to follow whatever orders he's given. It's not his place to question why. But you're looking for a reason to fight. You're a natural-born fighter, but you're not quite a soldier. A soldier is a political tool, nothing more. That's doubly true if he's a career soldier. Right and wrong have no place in his mission. He has no enemies and no friends. Only the mission. You follow the orders you're given. That's what being a soldier is.
I do whatever I have to get the job done. I don't think about politics.
That's not the same thing. Sooner or later, your conscience is going to bother you. In the end, you have to choose whether you're going to live as a soldier or just another man with a gun. There's a saying in the Orient, loyalty to the end. Do you know what it means?
Being patriotic.
It means devoting yourself to your country.
I follow the president and the top brass. I'm ready to die for them if necessary.
The president and the top brass won't be there forever. Once their terms are up, others will take their place.
I follow the will of the leader, no matter who's in charge.
People aren't the ones who dictate the missions.
Then who does?
The times. People's values change over time, and so do the leaders of a country. So there's no such thing as an enemy in absolute terms. The enemies we fight are only enemies in relative terms, constantly changing with the times. As long as we have loyalty to the end, there's no point in believing in anything, even in those we love.
And that's the way a soldier's supposed to think?
The only thing we can believe in with absolute certainty is the mission, Jack.
All right, but do me a favor.
What is it?
Call me Snake.
Snake. Oh, right. Your codename is Snake. It suits you well.
That's right. The legendary unit that the boss put together during World War II was a snake. The Cobra unit, a group of heroes that brought the war to an end and saved the world. As long as you've got a legendary hero backing you up, you'll be fine. Isn't that right, Snake?
Yeah, I can't think of anyone else I'd rather have with me. Oh, and one more thing, boss.
Yes?
It's good to hear your voice again.
Same here. After all, who knows if either of us will make it out alive? Snake, you are always best at urban warfare and infiltrating buildings. But this is the jungle. Survival is going to be key. Those CQC techniques I taught you are sure to come in handy.
CQC? Close quarters combat, huh? I've been in the Green Berets for the past few years. I'm probably pretty rusty.
Not to worry. I'll be here to help you remember. After all, this is your first actual survival mission. I'll be supporting you over the radio.
Where are you, boss? Next to the Major?
The boss is communicating with us by radio from aboard a Permit-class submarine in the Arctic Ocean.
My frequency is 141.80. Call me if you need my advice on battle techniques.
Gotcha.
Your mission is to retrieve Dr. Sokolov. Dr. Sokolov is being held in an abandoned factory located to the north of your current position. Avoid heavy combat and don't let anyone see you. Don't forget that this is a stealth mission.
Snake, try to remember some of the basics of CQC.
Commencing virtuous mission now.
CQC, Close Quarter Combat. Allora, ragazzi, una cosa importante di questa serie sarà il codec, o codex anzi. Facendo spesso le chiamate con i membri come lo chiamiamo? Della squadra, della Fox, abbiamo la possibilità di scoprire tante cose sul mondo di gioco, quindi purtroppo un po' spezzerà il ritmo di gioco, però sarà necessario per poter scoprire tante robe e vorrei che sia io sia voi le vedeste tutte, quindi cercheremo un po' di fare delle chiamate senza rallentare troppo l'episodio, però le faremo spesso. Allora, Visore sopravvivenza, premi select nel corso del gioco per aprire il visore. Qui potrai modificare l'equipaggiamento mimetico, cambiare armi, equipaggiamento, non unirti, curare ferite o malattie. Controllare la mappa ed eseguire una serie di altre operazioni utili a sopravvivere. Ci fa vedere la mimetica. Mimetizzazione. Indossare equipaggiamento mimetico permetterà di confondersi negli scenari e ingannare i nemici. Seleziona mimetizzazione il visore di sopravvivenza, quindi usa menu uniforme per indossare una tuta e il menu faccia per applicare pitture facciali. L'efficacia di ogni pittura facciale è uniforme in uno specifico scenario indicata dal valore numerico. Il valore deriva dal confronto tra la mimetizzazione scelta e quella attuale indossata. Maggiore è il valore, più efficace sarà la mimetizzazione. Allora, seleziona B, stile moderno, visualizza modelli, chiudi il visore. Quindi, per esempio, noi adesso siamo in verde militare, ma se ci mettessimo alla fogliare, aumentiamo di tanto. Agevola i momenti e tudisce il rumore dei passi e raddoppia il naturale recupero di energia vitale. Se la giacca si sporca, gli effetti vengono rimossi. Smoking. Tuta da coccodrillo. Conferisce a tutti i cibi un ottimo sapore, incrementa la velocità di movimento quando si striscia, incrementa il consumo di vigore. Questi sono tutti DLC, Bosco nudo. Fascia nudo. Oro. Riduce significativamente l'indice di mimetizzazione e incrementa la velocità di movimento. Tenuta da guerra verv. Riduce notevolmente tutti i danni, incrementa la velocità di recupero e l'energia vitale, ma riduce la velocità di movimento. Sneaking. Elimina il rumore dei passi e incrementa la velocità di recupero naturale dell'energia. Granata. Indossarla consente di usare un numero infinito di granate. Nera. Okay. Non useremo quelle DLC, DLC Early Access, useremo queste. Abbiamo anche la maschera di un certo personaggio, per chi sa. Occhiali. E occhiali da sole. Useremo bosco perché ci aumenta la mimetizzazione. Dopodiché, zaino. Armi ed equipaggiamenti recuperati verranno conservati nello zaino. Il visore di sopravvivenza seleziona zaino per prelevare armi ed equipaggiamenti. Puoi portare con te un massimo di 8 armi e 8 equipaggiamenti. Tutte le armi e gli equipaggiamenti hanno un peso più pesante e l'equipaggiamento più veloce si consuma il vigore. Quindi abbiamo il coltello a sopravvivenza, l'MK2 e il microfono direzionale e le calorie mate. Alimento bilanciato. Equipaggiamenti, abbiamo la pillola della morte, la pillola del risveglio, il sigaro, il binocolo, il sistema di intercettazione dei movimenti, il sonar, se usato consuma batteria, sensore anti-uomo. Mentre viene usato consuma batteria, se attiva tutte le altre vibrazioni si disattivano. La maschera GA, Kerotan e il copricapo e il coccodrillo. E la bussola. Bene. Dunque, il codex invece sarà con start? No. Questo non so che è. Con questa miro. Ok. Questo cambio spalla. Questo maccuccio. Questo ricarico. Ora che faccio? Niente. Y capriola. Ah, Y capriola e vai direttamente in stealth? No. È solo una capriola. Questo è il menu delle cose. Questa è la radio. Ah, carina la radio così. Qui puoi usare le frequenze addirittura manuali. Parliamo con The Boss, per esempio. Vieni premuto giù nel corso del gioco per aprire la finestra radio. Usala per parlare con i contatti, ricevere consigli sul gioco e molto altro. Sintonizza la frequenza del contatto con cui desideri parlare oppure seleziona il suo nome nella lista e avvia la trasmissione.
Camouflage is an indispensable tool when you're sneaking through the jungle. To use camouflage, first press the Survival Viewer button to go to the Survival Viewer. Then select Camouflage and press the Enter button. Select Uniform to select Battle Fatigues, and Face to select Face Paint. Choose battle fatigues that match the surrounding environment. The most effective camouflage is attained by selecting fatigues that blend in with the environment. Camouflage patterns that stand out in your surroundings will attract attention.
Ok.
Jungle, so you'll be finding yourself in a lot of unexpected encounters. Naturally, this means that close quarters combat will be more important than ever.
So I'll have plenty of chances to use CQC then.
That's right. In proximity encounters, firing a gun isn't necessarily the best response to every situation. It's only one option among many. Rather than taking the time to draw, aim, and fire a gun, engaging your opponent in hand-to-hand combat can sometimes be a faster and more reliable way of subduing him. Besides, in a sneaking mission like this one, it's too dangerous to go around firing your gun. You'll end up revealing yourself to the enemy.
Yeah, I know. You created CQC to deal with exactly this type of situation.
With your help, of course. In a battle situation, you'll only have a split second to decide how to attack. Press the aim button to get ready, then use the attack button to attack using a weapon. Use the CQC button to attack using CQC. Press the CQC button once to throw a punch. Pressing it multiple times in succession will allow you to deliver a combo attack. But striking your opponent is just one aspect of CQC. It doesn't really start to shine until you've got your enemy in a hold. Press and hold down the CQC button to grab your opponent with your hand. From there, you can use the movement stick to knock your opponent off balance and throw him to the ground. This can be used to knock an opponent out in a single blow. If you don't press the movement stick, grapple with your enemy until you're behind them and can get your knife to their throat. Grabbing an enemy from behind and holding your knife against his throat will render him virtually powerless. From this point, there are several things you can do. Press the action button to slit the enemy's throat with your knife. Move the movement stick and press the CQC button to throw the enemy to the ground. Tap the CQC button rapidly to choke the enemy. You can use this to knock him out or even kill him if you do it long enough. By continuing to hold down the CQC button, you can move around while keeping your grip on the enemy. By pressing the aim button, you can aim your currently equipped weapon at another enemy. With their comrade acting as a human shield, the enemy will be reluctant to attack you. Press the interrogate button to press your knife against the enemy and demand information. You'll be surprised at how much you can learn this way. But don't get too complacent. While your enemy may be powerless in your grip, he'll use any opportunity he can to counterattack.
Ancora.
You can only use CQC to grab enemies when your right hand is free to grab and pull them toward you. In other words, when you're barehanded or equipped with a one-handed weapon like a survival knife or a handgun. You won't be able to grab hold of enemies when equipped with two-handed weapons, such as the assault rifle or weapons such as hand grenades that don't leave your right hand free to control the enemy.
So in other words, I can't throw enemies with CQC when I'm holding an assault rifle or a hand grenade.
Exactly. Don't forget it.
Vediamo se c'è altro. Aspettate, controllo il scarico. Ok, rieccomi. Vai.
I see you're wearing the leaf pattern camouflage. The leaf pattern was developed to provide cover in forest environments. The U.S. military isn't the only one using it. Countries that anticipate operating in forest environments are developing various types of patterns, each suited to the vegetation of the particular region. The Soviets and the Eastern European countries all use their own unique patterns. Leaf pattern camo will give you an especially low profile in areas of thick vegetation.
Saving the game, Snake? Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla, King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile Godzilla is getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in his path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
If you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America, too. It might even win awards all across the globe in 60 years.
Why's that?
2024 will be Godzilla's 70th birthday.
You think they're still going to be
Madonna,
making
l'anno
Godzilla
scorso.
movies then?
Of course. Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Ok. Procediamo un po' adesso, senza abbuffarci troppo di dialoghi. Proviamo un po' il gioco. Palude di Dremocic. La vegetazione è fatta benissimo. Ah, ci possiamo nascondere dietro gli alberi anche, eh. Come faccio a usare il CQG? Perché con i tassi era chiaro, ma... Ok. Con RT, E sparare, quindi posso rotolare. Rotolata, salta in avanti, segue una rotolata. Maronna, quanto è grosso. Ma ce ne sono anche più di uno, oltretutto. E uno di loro difende un oggetto. Non posso rotolare nell'acqua, eh? Prendiamo l'oggetto, ci proviamo? No, lercio. Silenziatore MK22. Repellente, questo manco l'avevo visto. Oh. Attenzione qui. Questo? Hai attaccato GHKK2 per la prima volta. Ok. Area nord.
Major, I've spotted 2 enemy soldiers.
They're probably KGB troops sent to guard Sokolov.
AK-47s and grenades.
Snake, your presence in Soviet territory is already a violation of international law. We can't let the Kremlin find out that the CIA and the American government are involved. Contact with the enemy is strictly prohibited. Don't engage them in battle either. This is a stealth mission. Got that?
The Major is right. The point of this mission is to sneak through the jungle without being seen. The success of the mission depends on how well you use your camouflage. Change your camouflage by selecting
Questo lo
camouflage. The
saltiamo.
uniform option lets choosing camouflage. Also, don't forget that anything that moves will stand out in the jungle.
Certo.
If you just stand up and run around like an idiot, you're bound to be spotted. But if you crawl instead, you should be able to sneak by without being noticed. You can see how effective your camouflage is by looking at the camo index. The camo index shows how well your current camouflage blends in with the surrounding area. The higher the value, the harder you are to spot, and vice versa. The key is to make yourself one with nature. Keep that in mind as you go along, okay?
Ah, così siamo al 90, eh? Oh, un oggetto. Mazza quanti oggetti in giro, eh? Problema tecnico. Preferisco così. Le pelle. Al 70 così. Sì, QG, attacchi corpo a corpo, tieni vicino a un nemico, afferra.
What the? Who's that?
Quanto è durato senza farmi vedere? 10 secondi? Ah, fa anche il...
HQ respond. Patrol here. Enemy sighted. Requesting backup.
Acknowledged. Sending reinforcements.
Dieci secondi sono durato senza farmi vedere. Oh. Mi vede così, eh? No. Però prima mi hanno visto mentre ero sdraiato, se non sbaglio. Beh, il 65% è abbastanza poco, effettivamente. Ok, abbiamo due strade adesso, lì e qua. Qua cambio proprio
This is HQ.
parte del gioco.
Patrol here. We've lost the enemy. Enter high alert.
Acknowledged. The enemy is still nearby. Pursue and engage him.
Ok. Cavolo. Ancora 5 colpi col silenziatore, eh? Non so che so sti cosi, però li rompo per ora. Madonna, il crawl dentro le cose è impossibile. Visore termico. Mazza, consente di tirare il buio mentre viene usato, consuma le batterie. Quello proprio lì sta, mannaggia lui. Ok. C'è altro qui? No, mi pare di no. Piano piano e via. Ciao, Dolinovdono. Facciamo un altro pezzetto e ci fermiamo, eh. Ah. Come la faccio, mo? Anzi, adesso ci facciamo un paio di codex e ci fermiamo qua. Capirete poi perché.
The gun you're using is a test model of a suppressor-equipped pistol currently in development by the Navy that's been modified by the CIA into a tranquilizer gun. The suppressor-equipped pistol it's derived from is itself being developed for use by special forces based on the M39.
The Mark 22.
That's what they're going to call it if they decide to adopt it for official use. It uses a slide lock mechanism that will keep the firing sound down to a minimum.
But I'll have to reload it by hand every time I fire, right?
Right. You won't be able to fire multiple shots at once, so make every shot count. Aim for the enemy's vital spots. There's talk of designing the Mark 22 to accommodate special subsonic rounds, but for this mission, you'll be using specifically designed tranquilizer rounds. In a way, these tranquilizer rounds are like miniature syringes. When one of them strikes a target, the impact causes a needle contained within to shoot out. At the same time, chemicals inside the round are mixed to create a gas, which pushes the plunger and injects the tranquilizer into the target. You can knock out an enemy immediately by shooting them in the head, but if you shoot them in the arm or leg, the tranquilizing agent will take some time to set in. Aim carefully. You're wearing the woodland face paint, I see. The woodland face paint is designed for use in forests. Try using woodland paint when you're traveling through the forest. Normally, you would ask a fellow soldier how well your camouflage is working. But this is a solo sneaking mission, so nobody out there is on your side. You have to determine how well your camouflage is working by yourself.
Yeah, I know.
Don't worry, that's what the camo index is for. The camo index, the higher the index, with a high enough camo index...
Salto se c'è roba che abbiamo già visto.
If you are in an area where encounters are a high concern, keep your camo index... In my day, I did my share of sneaking into enemy territory.
You mean since World War II?
Yeah, mostly snatch missions.
Snatch mission? That's where you abduct an enemy officer without killing him, right?
Right. That's where I got the original idea for CQC. In a snatch mission, taking out the target's escorts by shooting them is not an option. If the enemy hears the gunshot, they'll know there's an intruder and tighten security. And the target will sense danger and try to get away.
You needed a way to take out the guards and secure the target without making a sound.
That was the idea. The CQC style that you and I developed is based on the techniques I cultivated during those missions. So...
First time I've heard this.
Huh?
You've never told me any of this before.
I didn't?
No. Why? Why didn't you tell me this before? Why now?
I have my reasons. This is a solo sneaking mission. You'll need to be more than just a soldier. You'll have to be a medic, a pilot, and even a cook.
You don't need to remind me.
I'm glad to hear that.
Glad to hear what?
That you haven't changed a bit. The truth is, you're nervous, aren't you?
I'm not nervous.
There's no need to be embarrassed. No one's ever attempted a mission like this before. In fact, you might say that getting nervous is the natural way to react. Relax. That's why you have the survival viewer. The survival viewer contains everything you'll need to stay alive in the field. Use camouflage to change your camouflage, backpack to select a weapon, food to eat, and cure to heal yourself. The map option lets you view the map. The survival viewer is going to be your best friend in this mission, so learn to make the most of it. If you want to adjust the settings so they're easier to use, open the pause menu instead of the survival viewer, and then select options to make any changes you see fit. Choose battle fatigues that the most effective camouflage patterns that's... It takes more than to camouflage face, bear, choose, start that way even if, in order to use light colors on areas of the face, open the survival viewer, be sure to select a face. Camouflage is about blending in. As long as you have camouflage fatigue, you don't need to be concerned with being spotted by On the other hand, so when you need to hide from the enemy, you can check the camo index to see. Hunters have known about camouflage since ancient times. But it's only quite recently, since the 18th century, that it's been applied to military operations. The first camouflage introduced to the military was a solid colored uniform designed to blend in with the battlefield. It was really more of a protective coloring than true camouflage. Camouflage in the modern sense of the word wasn't introduced until the First World War. During that war, weapons such as aircraft, cannon, and warships were painted in camouflage colors. But it was almost never used to disguise individual soldiers. The widespread use of camouflage began in World War II. The Germans and the Russians in particular made active use of it in battle. Nowadays, with the Cold War raging, the Eastern Bloc has been hard at work developing all sorts of camouflage. In the West, the French implemented it in their paratrooper corps, and SAS during the Wars of Independence in Indochina.
I never saw it used in Korea, though.
America has lagged behind other countries in incorporating camouflage. They're only just beginning to consider introducing it into certain units.
Why is that?
Apparently, there are those in the US military who consider camouflage too passive a technique.
Morons.
You're telling me. But now more and more people are beginning to appreciate how useful and important camouflage can be. I'm sure the brass will see the light soon enough. To place a weapon on your person, a list of weapons, select and press the, however, put unnecessary, select a weapon on your person from your situation to consider this when choosing which weapon. The camera can be, you can use, if you might not make the first person view attack. It allows you to aim it when you need to take an enemy out in one shot. The sooner you find the enemy, the better you'll be able to, so be sure to make use of sense. When you aim your handgun in first...
No laser sight?
What?
A laser sight. I heard the military was developing them, but...
You want a laser sight?
Uh-huh.
A well-trained soldier has no use for a laser sight. No training wheels on this
Il
mission.
bello che lei fa l'insegnante comunque con lui, sempre.
Like with the handgun, you can press the aim button to if you're in a close quarters fight, observe the reticle and where...
I understand, but that...
Of course not. So when you require pinpoint targeting, like when firing from afar or snipe, carefully align your front and rear sights to concentrate fire and gain a sharper view on your target. Stalking is a movement technique. Stalking involves putting your weight before putting. Use the tip of your foot to check for dangerous objects or branches that might create a noise when stepped upon. Once you've determined the spot is safe to step on, slowly lower your foot to the ground, placing it down from the outside edge first, and then slowly lowering your weight onto the foot.
Ma pensate.
Throughout the entire process, you have to strain your calves to retain balance. But all you need to do is press the movement stick in the direction you wish to move, while holding down the stalking button. When stalking, you can move without creating sound with your footsteps. And since your posture is low while stalking, you are that much less likely to be spotted by the enemy. Since you move cautiously while stalking, you will be able to detect a trap on the ground before it is set off. However, the slow, concentrated movement while stalking consumes high amounts of stamina. Switch between walking, running, and stalking, depending on the situation. In the jungle, it's absolute. Sometimes even the small. You'll have to make sure you use tape to secure metal objects and other items that seem likely to produce noise.
Ah.
After you've secured your gear, jump up and down to see whether it makes a sound.
Don't worry, I remember the drill.
Strano, questo me lo ricordavo.
Select map in the it shows your In addition, if you acquire information from to get information from an enemy, grab to succeed in any mission. Map will. Keep in mind that your weapon storing a heavy. If you're getting, it's a good. There is one weapon greater than any other in battle. Do you know what that is?
Yeah.
What?
Do we have to go through this again?
Yes.
Will. An unflinching will to survive no matter what.
Exactly. The will to carry out your mission and return home alive will see you through even the most desperate of situations. It's the most potent weapon in your arsenal. Don't forget that, no matter what. Treetops, bushes, hollow log. Search each area. If you want to survive an unnatural movement, always keep an eye on your sense of hearing is so you've got to learn to pick up the enemy's presence. Always be listening for that one snap of your sense of body odor, sweat, gunpowder, food. No?
I can't smell.
You? What now?
I can't smell.
Not
Ah.
at all.
Nope.
Not even a little bit.
Non sente gli odori, Snake. Non me la ricordavo sta cosa.
Well then, you'll just have to trust in your instincts as a gamer.
Ah, beh, certo, perché è il giocatore che non sente gli odori.
If you rapid fire the assault rifle, they're firing from a crouched position. Even while hanging, you can fire your handgun with one arm. And if you're attacked during a hanging maneuver, don't panic. Equipment captured in the field often needs to be fixed, but you won't need to worry.
Why's that?
Because your adversaries are highly trained professionals. They'll no doubt have made sure their reserve gear is in working condition.
So in other words, I can use this.
Right. One more thing. When you pick up a new item, don't forget to read its description in the window. You said the enemy is equipped. The AK-47, it's employed not only by... It uses 7... The AK is reliable. Don't even think about getting... Avoid battle. You mentioned the enemy. Those grenades are RGD-5. You can protect yourself from a large part of... If someone throws a grenade at you and it should reduce... When you see an enemy, the first thing to do is... If you make any... Your camo index will decrease. And don't start to panic. It doesn't necessarily mean... As long as you hide someplace, stay calm.
Raga, vedete quanti dialoghi ci hanno messo? È vero che sono dialoghi sul gameplay, Io perché ovviamente voglio dei dialoghi di ciccia.
So basically, I should avoid getting into battles.
To avoid battle, that's what your binocular... Tell me, what's the advantage of a solo sneaking mission?
It's easier to go in undetected than
Exactly. This mission into if this gets out to the public, we'll be
4 years ago. The YouTube
ecco.
crash.
Dici un po'?
is not an option.
Not a problem. I'll get Sokolov out without...
Ok, non ne parlano.
Your objective in this mission is, but if you're faced with if you use stalking to sneak up behind an enemy and take him out in one strike, the other enemies probably won't. If it doesn't look like you'll be able to sneak up from behind, either figure out the enemy's patrol or make a sound or throw. And if he does spot you, don't hesitate. Take him out before he got it? Enemies pose a greater threat when they the members of a squad are constantly. If you a tactical reload is a change
Madonna,
of
quanti ce ne so?
from running out of bullets, and you will always. The trick is keep your line of sight up, and don't forget to retrieve the actual procedure. That will. You can also. The first person. It allows. It also when you need to. A tactical reload is that will. You can.
Mi sa che l'abbiamo finiti?
Stalking is, but all you need when.
Yes.
And since, however, switch.
Ok. Facciamo un ultimo mini pezzo e chiudiamo,
HQ, please respond.
This is HQ.
Patrol here. The situation is normal.
Understood. Return to your position.
Oh. Come torno su? Sali. Ah, ho fatto cadere il cadavere facendo sta cosa. Il mio vigore è quello blu. Punta arma, lascia. Posso dire... Non dovevo andare così. Controllare sempre il vigore, allora. Questo lo portiamo qua e lo soffochiamo, No, facciamo proprio così e via. Questi due magari ce li facciamo. Prima uno. Non l'ho preso. Quanta resistenza c'hanno? Niente. L'aggrappata così. C'è sempre. Torna su. Allora, sotto ho visto che c'era un sacco di robetta. Recuperiamocela. Dalla roba qui. Fucile d'assalto avanzato, piccolo calibro. Punta con LT e RT per fare fuoco. Ah, questa è la modalità di inseguimento. Cammini molto più piano praticamente. Con LB. Rasvet.
Major, I've reached the abandoned factory where Sokolov is supposedly being held. This place is a dump. I can't see Sokolov from here. The security is pretty tight. There are sentries posted around the perimeter. I wonder how many are inside.
Your objective, Sokolov, is inside the factory. They should be holding him in a room in the northeast section.
Northeast section. Got it.
Be careful. Your mission is to bring Sokolov back alive. He must not be exposed to any kind of danger. Do not approach Sokolov while in the alert phase.
Right.
Oh, and one more thing, Snake.
You mean there's more?
No, it's just that when you get to Sokolov, I want you to tell him something from me.
And that is?
Sorry for being so late.
Is that all?
Yes.
Understood. Beginning my approach to the target.
Ok. Ed è qui che ci salutiamo, perché la prossima volta avremo del contenuto importante. Quindi, grazie ragazzi, spero che siate entusiasti come me di questa serie. Ovviamente troveremo il nostro pacing, magari qui un po' più lento. Capisco quanto codex metterlo, magari ditemi anche voi se vi interessa il codex o se andiamo un po' più veloci, se posso skippare tranquillamente e non vi dispiace alcune cose sulle specifiche delle armi, eccetera, le manderei avanti semplicemente anche per durata, ragazzi, perché sennò effettivamente è un po' pesante da aver solo tutto, però ditemi voi. Voi siete il pubblico, quindi per me è importante che mi diate un feedback, quindi grazie ancora. Se il video vi è piaciuto lasciate like, commenti, iscrivetevi, condividetelo anche con qualcuno magari giusto per dare un po' più piede alla serie, al canale. Grazie ancora, ciao.